Hello again, welcome back inside the Tier 4 studio here in Morgantown, West Virginia. For the Charleston Gazette Mail, I am Mike Casaz, and you are here for part 6 of our 2015 in 15 countdown. Thank you for joining me. Today we'll take you one step closer to August 3rd, which is the start of preseason camp at West Virginia, by talking about, well, let's deviate a little bit. We're not going to talk about a coach, a player, a position battle, or even a side of the ball. We're going to talk about luck. Not Oliver Luck, but the good and bad fortune that teams will enjoy or endure during the course of a regular season. The topic fascinates me, so much so that I covered it in Jed Drenning's Signal Caller preseason preview magazine. It's that important to me, it should be that important to you. Can't endorse the magazine strongly enough. I insist you pick it up, ideally before we meet again. But luck matters. It's important now, so much so that people cover it, include it in their metrics. FootballStudyHall.com does the job that I find most satisfactory and most informative, and which makes this most interesting for me. I can't believe that a team has been as unlucky as West Virginia has been the past couple of years, but most especially last season. What Football Study Hall tells me is that only Auburn recovered a lower percentage of fumbles last year. So that means anytime the ball was on the ground on offense, defense, or special teams, the Tigers only recovered 25%. Think about that. Anytime the ball is on the ground and a play could give you possession or let the other team maintain possession, 75% of the time it went to the other team. That's a terrible number. West Virginia was at 26%, the second lowest number in the country. So those are two extremely unlucky teams. Except Auburn was a little bit more fortuitous when it came to interceptions. Anytime that the Tigers defended a pass, which means tipped at the line of scrimmage, had a linebacker get in the throwing lane, a cornerback jump around and tip it in the air, but a defender got hands on the balls, 30-some% of the time Auburn recovered the interception. That's a good number. Not optimal and not the average, but better than 25%. West Virginia's number, 22%. How about that? So anytime that West Virginia did something right and deflected a pass, defended a pass, jumped a route, tricked a quarterback, 78% of the time it ended up working out for the other team. So think about that. 74% of the fumbles went the opposition's way, and 78% of the defended passes went the opposition's way. How does a team survive like that? It's hard. And it's not because you did things wrong on defense. You didn't accidentally force a fumble on defense. You didn't accidentally deflect a pass on defense. But the luck worked against you there. Now, the fumble number is a bit misleading because, again, it covers offense, defense, special teams. Certainly West Virginia's offense fumbles. That has nothing to do with the defense. And the other team still recovered it. Punt returns, onside kicks, kickoff returns, and the ball comes out, that's a special teams metric. It doesn't really reflect on the offense or the defense. But West Virginia's defense, which was much better last year, was just terribly unlucky. It played 1,097 snaps last year and recovered one fumble. One! That number doesn't even make any sense. Almost 1,100 snaps on defense throughout the course of a 13-game season, and you recover one fumble. Good luck winning like that. So what does it matter? Well, Tony Gibson believes that his defensive players botched 20 interceptions last year. Finished with 12, but what would 32 be like instead of 12? How many more possessions would the defense have had? How many more games would the defense have won? Good question. What if it was only half? What if instead of 20 drops of interceptions, there were 10? 22 interceptions is a much better number than 12. How about Carl Joseph? Hit a guy on the sideline 4 times last year, and the ball went out of bounds. What's the best thing that Carl Joseph does? He hits people really hard. And ideally, when you hit somebody really hard, the ball flies up in the air and you recover the fumble. He did everything right 4 times, except that the sideline maintained possession for the other team. 6 times total, West Virginia forced a fumble on the sideline, and it went out of bounds. So you have 20 interceptions and 6 fumbles out of bounds. 26 turnovers up in the air that you just couldn't get going your way. That's a big deal. And they matter. The one fumble recovery was by Terrell Chestnut. He returned it for a touchdown against TCU. Almost won that game, but things hadn't gone sideways, which we'll get to in a second. Drayvon Henry, interception return for a touchdown, sealed the game on the road at Oklahoma State, which is a big win. These things matter. But it wasn't just fumbles or interceptions that eluded West Virginia last year. It's really hard to make a field goal, right? How hard? Well, consider that you have 9 guys blocking for you, and one of them has his head between his legs, snapping you the ball, and a whole bunch of people trying to run through him because he's at a disadvantage. 11 guys are running at you trying to block the kick. So it's 11 on 9 numerical disadvantage. The uprights aren't very wide. You have to worry about a snap and a hold, people running at you, people blocking the people who are running at you. Where's the wind? Is the sun in my eyes? A whole bunch of things go into it. It's hard to make a field goal. West Virginia's opponents last year started the season by making 13 in a row, and 7 of them were from 40 yards or more. It was the 8th game of the season before an opponent missed a field goal. And by then, with balls going through the uprights, fumbles bouncing out of bounds, interceptions hitting guys in the face mask, the coaches couldn't believe how unlucky they were. So what does it matter? Wins and losses, sure, but you can only flip a coin so many times and have it keep coming up the wrong way. Logic suggests that West Virginia has to have a major improvement in luck this year, and even if it's a minor improvement, it has to help, because all those possessions that could have gone the other way, all those three-point kicks that could have hit an upright, been shanked, been blocked, they matter, because West Virginia lost games last year by 1, 6, 8, 10, and 12 points. Little plays can make a big difference, and logic suggests West Virginia just can't be that unlucky again. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time. I'm Mike Casazza for the Charleston Gazette-Mail.